And go back here. So Gemini, let's see what's happening this month here for you. You have a jumper, and that is like a 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles is, as you can see, there is like a struggle. Everybody wants to get that little mouse over here, but because this is divide and conquer, like a mouse can just simply escape. So you might have lots of kind of like buzzing around you, right? And so look at this, like we have lots of Sagittarius over here. Well, Sagittarius is also good for you to check Gemini as well. This is the counter kind of like forces at play as well. So you might have like up to 5 people that are kind of like all chiming in. They all kind of like feel they can maybe storm down your throat and just can do stuff. And it's kind of like really interesting because Mars is coming to Gemini, right, on the 3rd, just like what I had just in the previous kind of like reading for Sagittarius. And it's almost like feels like that you're really tired of all of these influences, and you will definitely want to have bigger variety, kind of like dealing with something new, something fresh, something more enthusiastic of some sort. So let me see, Gemini. We have Knave of Cups. So it's flirting. It's a flirting energy, and maybe kind of like you want to start something. This to me really is an energy that needs to be nurtured. It's not necessarily lasting energy. So keep this in mind. If you find somebody that you like, you need to kind of like water that relationship. Otherwise, it's just not going to be sustainable, right? So you have Ace of Swords. That's victory. This is like very first thing right on the table. It is one of my karma cards, the only karma card from the lower arcana, right? And Ace of Swords is really something that is really, really fast. So there's like a fast change, and maybe it's a simple change in kind of like attitude of some sort. Like maybe maybe somebody feels that the things cannot be changed, that things have to continue being the way they want to continue them, and you're saying, no, I don't know, I don't care, like you can think whatever you want, this is what I want. So maybe you're renegotiating things, maybe you're kind of like simply going in a completely new direction, maybe simply you're kind of like stepping around one person. This can also be a boss. Maybe you're introducing some new ideas to your boss, and oh, this is like what we did always, tried and true, why to fix it when it's not broken, and you're hearing all these old platitudes, and you're like just willing to explode on this, right? So there is like, I mean, it's 2 of Wands. It kind of like feels to you that you're maybe kind of like running in a spot. This is interesting card because it talks about the planning. It talks about going in the future, but it's reversal over here. So now it's actually really looking to the past, possibly. It's kind of like questioning things. It's interesting we have air and fire, which is a really combustible energy, but it's also very good. It's kind of like making you feel alive, making you feel you're going in a good direction. So yeah, you're ruled by Mercury, same as Virgo. So this Mercury retrograde was not that easy on you, but I also feel that some of you kind of like turned this like in a positive, and you were reconnecting with friends and people, or they were flowing in your life, and that whole energy kind of like maybe gave you this new attitude and new direction. This also talks about feeling that loving and tenderness kind of like a thing, and maybe you felt a little bit that you lull yourself, because emotions are fine for Gemini as long as they're not overwhelming. Because if you become, even if those emotions are great, you will feel that you're getting drained. You'll feel that kind of like certain things kind of like, hey, you know, like I need to function, right? Like I cannot stay here all the time. So here it is, like you have like these 2 twos that are mirroring each other. So it's going to be some kind of debate. It's going to be circumstance where you're going to feel that you really don't know how to move forward. And again, the crescent moon, that's the 13th. It's kind of like the new moon in Pisces. It's generally really good for boosting romance, but for you, it's kind of like finding your own footing. You're saying maybe I took the wrong turn. I have to go back and to see how do I undo all of these things? And there is another karma card, and it's the world. And this is like also in unbelievable positioning. So right out of the gate, you're starting the month, the third, when Mars is in Gemini. Things are going to change dramatically for you, just dramatically. It's almost like that somebody put you on. It's put you on fire. So there you go. This is your own house. You have the chariot. There is like this motion forward. Now you have your goals. Now you have determination. Now you have the skills. Now you have all of these tools. And now you are like forcing yourself to go in this new direction. Not really forcing yourself. You are willing to go. There is like this enormous enthusiasm, enormous focus. If you're starting a company, guys, maybe you're going to sell the company, and now it's a time to go in a kind of a completely new projects. If maybe you're starting a company and now like you're reaching like a milestone when you're seeing that this is like kind of doable. If this is about relationship, then you're kind of like realizing that you need something on a completely different foundation of some sort. Generally, the world talks about success, but it also talks about wrapping kind of like ends, and it's like outside kind of like manifestation of some sort. So, the concept of paid forward, like there's like something that is going to be happening to you in spite of you, that you're going to get rewarded, and it's going to be some new generation energy that is generated. So you have this dreaded Seven of Swords in your environment. So be careful of the people that you encounter on your paths. So now there are 3 sevens. So highly spiritual month. Of course, we are going through the transition of Pisces, which kind of brings the spirituality, but sometimes the spirituality can be also in a la la land for your taste. You're the air sign, right? So you're not going to kind of like follow the kind of like tail end of any conspiracies and everything else. You might find it interesting, but then you might abandon it just the moment when you feel that you cannot justify with your kind of like logic anymore, right? So this really tells me that there is like somebody who clearly these sevens, somebody felt that they're losing some kind of like advantages they had with you. So maybe you had a relationship that was not strong, or this person thought was stronger. Maybe this simply means that you are going to loosen up some kind of like reins that you felt, that you already had kind of like direction in your life, and now things might be changing in that respect. Hopes and fears, you kind of like want a little bit of easy breezy attitude. That to me is an ultimate friend card here. And maybe somebody will betray you here. The Seven of Swords does have that ability, and they are going to feel they're doing that in a righteous way, right? My dad always comes in my car and opens the glove compartment and steals my screwdriver set that I have, always saying it's his. And I always take it back. He always steals it, even though I bought him exactly the same set. I said, no, that belongs to the car. But that's kind of like somebody stubbornly believing that belongs to them, even though it doesn't. And maybe you're just going to shoot some kind of like crap with your friends and have it like, good kind of a glass of wine and kind of like relax about that, or even have a giggle. But this is going to be very important, that there's somebody who might take something. This can indicate theft. It can indicate betrayal. But because you have the chariot in a good position, you have the best possible warrior, you might catch them right in the act. And then you have a Five of Swords, to sort of like crown you. And Five of Swords talks about the energies that are, they're winning energies. So there's some winning energy, but that winning come at a cost. You know what they say, you really don't win if it's not win, 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 win. But in your case, it's not going to be win, 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 win. It's kind of like you win, but there are people who really resent certain things that you did, because it almost looks to me, you said to them like, why did you really think that you're better than me, or that you deserve this? You're kind of like returning things back 2 steps. So for example, when I coach relationships and let's say marriage is like now not working well, you have to go back all the way, steps down to when it worked the last time. So you're like renegotiating, you're redefining your life, you're redefining people around you, you are exposing people or they're exposing themselves because your energy is so strong. So let me see the card for you, calling in your soulmate. That's also what Chariot does. It says your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. But I really don't see lots of partnering over here in your chart. That doesn't mean you would not have a partner. It's kind of like the Chariot means to me that you're really focused on big goals. So partner to me is really secondary that you might have. But if you have a partner, you're going to go to the next level. That next level is not going to be necessarily what they want, what they envision, and that's why you might renegotiate that and kind of like create a situation that is doable for you where you feel complete comfort. So that's where we have Gemini, and then somebody else I think said Leo, if I remember. To let me just stop this recording now.